dance for joy or lust or anger.
So, welcome to slightly Shambolic SMMT reviews, the series where we take some brand new cars and we attempt to do an entire review of them in less than 30 minutes. It all goes horribly wrong. So we're at the SMMT live test day here at Kumabi near Coventry. In the car with me is Andrew from Manor Park Classics and also from Auto Mundial on ITV4, who is accompanying me today. You'll see some footage of him driving it later. So is this Hyundai Inster, this is the O2 model, the long range one, any good? Should you care? Let's find out, shall we? So the Inster is actually based on a Korean market called the Casper, which came out a few years ago, which actually has both combustion and electric versions. The Inster in Europe is only being sold with an electric motor. This one is the O2 long range, which has 115 horsepower, and it feels actually pretty nippy. It feels a lot nippier than that would suggest. It's actually quite a light car. I'm enjoying the regen braking in this eco mode. Someone's just whacked a massive, great BMW iX right in front of us. We've got to be careful because you never know what's going to happen when these journalists are around. Actually, I find this car pretty nice to drive. Andrew's driven a Renault 5 recently, and actually he finds this better. And I don't know, I've not driven one of those, but I'd like to. I'm finding it actually really quite nippy. It's really quick, and the steering feels really good. I can see why people so far have been really loving these. The only thing I would say is we're going to come up to the torture test in a moment, coming over the bumps, and let's just see how this Insta actually copes, because it might not be great. We'll just go over the first one and see what happens. And see if, we'll just slow down a little bit. And, we are in the eco mode. We might put it in sport mode right down. There we go. It's okay. It's a little bit on the sort of jumpy side. Let's go into eco mode. There we go. We get some sort of charge for the next person who's going to be driving this. Actually, considering people who drive it on these days are quite enthusiastic with their driving, the range actually doesn't look too bad. I like the size of this car. I like the way it looks. I like the colour. The fact is, this car being in the kind of mid £20,000 range for a little thing like this, an electric car, about the same price, I suppose, as, I don't know, a BYD Dolphin Surf in some ways, or a Renault 5 in some of the upper trims. It's something like that. Not the most powerful thing, about 95 to 115 horsepower, depending on the model. Charging port is at the front here. Go Type 2 CCS at the front of here. It does look actually quite narrow and compact. It's based on a car for the Korean market called the Hyundai Casper. The Casper actually comes with conventional petrol powertrains, and it's a bit shorter than this, so it's a little bit larger than one of those. So we go in here and open up the boot. You can see here it doesn't look that big. It's around 200 litres or so, but you can actually move these seats forward a bit. You have to get a model with the sliding rear seats to do that, which I think this does have because it's an O2 model. But we actually got quite a lot of space under here. We can take this floor out, and then we've got space for things, but the charging cables store actually in there. So you can put this somewhere else, I suppose, if you wanted a bit more room. And we've got this clever thing so that if I pull these seats forward a bit, then we've still got something to cover up the load in the back. So we'll just move this out of the way quickly. So yeah, you can see we've got these little slidey things. I'm going to sit on this. The houndstooth upholstery actually reminds me of an old mini Metro. That's what they used to have. So no mat pockets or anything. Don't know what this sort of does here. This sort of panel here doesn't need to do anything. How strange. But if we do that, we can see that the parcel shelf back there, if we get out again, very easy to get in and out of one of these. That is actually covered up, so that's quite clever. So you can increase the size of the boot if you need to. Only a 4-seater. Just close that. No electric boot. We don't need anything like that, do we, really? Keyless entry in this particular model of the O2 specification. The drive mode selector actually, the gear lever, is actually out of a Santa Fe. There's a drive mode selector actually on here. I just like the size of this car. It's always nice and uncomplicated. This panel reminds me of like a, I don't know, a 2000 Hyundai. But I like it. We've got heated seats as well. We've got parking cameras. It means we just turn this on. There we go. We're in accessory mode at the moment. We've got 12-volt socket here. We've got USB and USB-C in here. Got the glove box in here. This is probably beeping because the door's open. We'll just remedy that quickly. So we've got powerful mirrors and all electric windows. The controls are actually in really nice places. I like the physical controls here. We've got a digital driver's display, that's normal for that. Automatic lights, automatic wipers. It just seems very, very sort of well thought out. The parking brake release is just down there. Heated steering wheel, actually. That's that thing down there. And we've got down here, which is not something I was expecting to see at all. If I get the cover open, there is actually a 230-volt socket down here. If I can actually get this open, which we'll have to do maybe a bit later because I can't do it at the moment. Wireless charging pad down here. Door bins look kind of okay. They're quite narrow, but you can put things here, which is actually really good. I'm actually very impressed with this view. It's a decent car, this, in so many ways. What we need to do though is turn this on so we can have a look at these controls here. We've actually got facility digital dials. We've got charge and power, this mode here, the drive mode selectors on the steering wheel. We can have eco, normal, sport and snow. Why you need snow mode in a car like this, I don't know. 144 miles of range. This has the larger battery, by the way. There is actually a smaller battery version too. Media off, we can actually go into the setup here. There we go. So we've got vehicle, EV, navigation, things like this. Then we can go to map. There we go, near Combe Abbey at Coventry. And Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, which is, to be honest, what you're going to be using most of the time. This display might look a bit old-fashioned, but I just like the tactility of something like this. It's nice and simple. It's not going to go into here and fiddle around with a touchscreen to do very basic things, which you know, annoys me a lot about a lot of cars on the market today. Right, let's actually open up the fruit at the front and see if we can store anything in there. So unusually we haven't got a fruit in here at all, but there is no front boot or fruit or front trunk frunk. There isn't one of these, which is a shame. We've just got the electric motor. Now obviously this does come with Hyundai's standard 5-year limited mileage warranty, and you get 5 years of vehicle health checks and 5 years breakdown cover. You shouldn't need to use that really in something like this. They do have a good reputation for reliability, and these have been on the market in Korea for a while, so I'd imagine these would be pretty good. I don't know, because it's still quite a new car. It only came out this year, so yeah. Anyway, let's take this out on the road again and see how it drives. So unusually, I'm actually not driving. We've got Andy Talbot here from Manipart Classics and ITV4's Auto Mundial. So he's going to drive for a bit. I might going to go later, but we're just going to go over some facts about the Hyundai Inster. Yeah, so it's
facts and speed bumps.
Facts, speed bumps. Speed bumps in Combe Abbey are awful. So we've got in the base model, it's a 39 kilowatt-hour battery, 95 horsepower. 0 to 62 is 11.7 seconds. They start actually at £23,500. This one is an O2 model, so it's more like 28. This has a 46 kilowatt-hour battery. The boot space is 238 litres, and this has 115 horsepower. 0 to 60 is 10.6 seconds. So, Andy, if you turn left out of here, we can see if actually the claim that they actually make 0 to 62 in 10.6 seconds. Obviously, we can't go 60, we've got to go 50. But we'll see actually if it's any good. So let's see if we can get out of here nice and quickly. We've got this Land Cruiser in front of us. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but because this car's so light in comparison with like a Chang'an Deepal SO7 I drove earlier on today, it actually does feel quite quick. We've got a brighter interior in this particular one. We've got this nice kind of sort of light coloured stuff in here. So the charging speed of this long range one, 85 kilowatts, is pretty good. 10 to 80% top up, it takes about 30 minutes. Yeah, you get actually around, in this particular car, 223 miles of range. The standard battery, 42 kilowatt or 39, I've seen both figures. It actually is a little bit less than that at 203, and then on the O1 model, which has the longer range battery, it's 229 miles. So yeah, this is a bit different from what we're used to. We're gonna spin round a bit. So someone in the Land Cruiser is not driving very well. We're gonna spin round a bit. We're gonna take this back because we haven't got an awful lot of time. So yeah, it's an impressive car. This, I mean, obviously, this one is the all singing or dancing O2 version of a long range battery. So this particular one costs quite a lot of money. It's almost £30,000. But the lower range ones, the O1 model with the standard range battery, is about £24,000, which is actually very competitive, and it feels very well made. I'm just impressed with everything that's sort of happening with the technology and everything like that, but also it's so easy to drive this car. It's remarkably easy. It's because it's narrow. It's not like these big old things like a BMW iX in front of us or the Chang'an Deep Palo S07 I drove earlier on. It's a sort of car that actually would work well in the sense of a city context, which actually would be ideal for something like this. I can see why someone would actually just want to have a look at it and drive it and buy it. The only thing I'm concerned with electric cars is the depreciation. I know because this car's been out a few months, you can buy a nearly new one, well over £20,000, which may be something you prefer to do as opposed to leasing one of these. But, I'm impressed. So thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video and leave a comment below. Thank you to Andrew for accompanying me on this drive. And we shall see you again soon for some more slightly rubbish and incredibly rushed reviews.